Hello, and welcome to this Catalyst commentary on the 2C's required for your Agile, DevOps, DevSecOps adoption and transformation to succeed. So when customers come up to me and ask, hey, John, what's one of the most important questions myself, my leadership team, or my organization needs to ask itself before we start, or, when we're in this, adoption or transformation, I come back with, you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, do you have the 2C's, courage and commitment to see it through? So why I ask that question is if you look at the state of the DevOps union reports for over the past decade, we've been failing at our adoptions and transformations at a rate of 70% or greater. Now, in recent years, there's been a big input in training, education, awareness that we have to start with culture. So a lot of the reason why we've been failing is because we start with tools and process, when what we need to do is start with culture and mindset and follow the progression of culture, mindset, people, data, process, which is flowing value to your customer, and then tools last. So we have that in, and last couple of years, we've got that, people are aware of that, but we're still failing. So what's going on? Well, we have a VUCA world. If you haven't heard about VUCA, it's volatile, uncertain, complex. I like to throw in there conflictive and ambiguous. So as a leader or an organization, you're having to make changes and deal with all that uncertainty. Then you have the multi-generational workforce. It's unprecedented in that in no time in history have we had this amount of generations in our workforce at the same time. And what makes it challenging there is that the different generations have different habits or ways they want to work, or the ways that they're wired, they're geared to work. And then you have disruption by software, technology, data. So if you thought software technology was disruptive, data is actually going to be more disruptive because of its consumption and impact, which leads to intelligence and wisdom. And so this is where a lot of organizations are now realizing they need a data fabric, or they need to understand data. And you pretty much cannot have the business discussion today without discussing data. So now the question boils down to, do you have the 2C's to deal with everything I just mentioned? But then there's the elephant in the room, I'll call it, or the hidden factor. So what is that? Think about all the leaders in power for the last 2 or 3 decades that are pretty much in power today for organizations. What type of leader are they? What's the value belief system? How have the organizations been built? They've been built on transactional leadership, and they're transactional based. They've been working with traditional ways. Now, there's nothing negative here, no ding. It's just that's how it was to get us to where we're at today. And the leaders have done a great job, and a good job doing that, for us today. So now that's the foundation we're working on. However, the world has changed. The world has significantly changed. And the world has changed to be a dynamic, transformational based world where you have to think and do on the fly, work iteratively, work from a mindset of dynamics that you're changing, every couple of weeks or even sooner, depending upon what industry you're in. And so now the question becomes, do you have the 2C's to take on that magnitude of change? And this is where the politics come in, the ideology comes in, the wokeism comes in, the cancel culture comes in. So as you can tell, it's a big mess right now. Hot mess, as somebody once said to me, John, we're in a hot mess here. But the good news here is that from what I see and working with folks today is that we can do this. I believe you can do this. You do have that courage and commitment. And the way to do that is just be transparent, work with some of the techniques we've provided in some of our other articles. And if you have the conversation, work forward, you and your team, you can get through this. This shall pass too, as someone, as a common saying. Hope this was helpful. If you'd like to learn more, please read the article on the Intelligence Catalyst website. If you'd like to have the conversation, please book a consultation with myself or my teammates. We're here and happy to help.